Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Monday, and it's a bad Monday for Bitcoin. Miners were down for the most part, but there might be a reason why. There's obviously some concern with Three Arrows Capital, Celsius, obviously. So we'll take a look at that story on it, and it's gonna possibly have a bigger effect than we thought. And obviously Bitcoin's down, so we'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the miners. We'll also take a look at the miners' short interest on them. It looks like for the most part, it's been going down a little bit. So we'll take a look at that, and then we'll take a look at the three small miners that I cover as well. So we'll take a look at those for miner versus miner comparison, and we'll get through it hopefully pretty quickly. All right, as always, you guys know the drill here. I'm investing in following Bitcoin companies, and let's get into Bitcoin right now, and we'll talk about that one a little bit. So Bitcoin right now on the 1 hour chart is down to 20,710. It has been going down a little bit. Looking at the RSI here and the price action here, RSI was pretty flat here between the 25th of June between 10 o'clock and 26th of June around 1300, so it's about 1 o'clock p.m. And we did have a nice spike in price, which was good, which was kind of making me think that we're going to be continuing on to have a little bit more bullish action going on. But obviously things have kind of changed here in a little bit. We obviously had a dip here, and even in that dip, it looked like it were being bullish, but basically ever since 4 o'clock this morning, Bitcoin has started falling, and it fell pretty hard right around 8 o'clock. And from there, I just did this a little bit ago. We can see here that the RSI is pretty much going up while the Bitcoin price has been flat here on the timeline. So it looks like we are looking a little bit bearish on it right now, and we could possibly even go to here. We could probably take this down here and take this up as well. So we can see price decline, RSI increase, not looking good on the action for Bitcoin right now. So I think short term we're going to be falling, and we are kind of falling. Wow, we're definitely falling a little bit here as we're recording this a little bit. We'll see where it stops, but it's obviously not good. So, and the reason for that is, we'll get into it, is obviously Celsius and Three Arrows Capital, but we are where we are right now. And I think there's just some fear in the market right now that this could be a larger contagion than originally thought, but we'll get into it. So that's where Bitcoin is right now. Ethereum, obviously same thing, big fall here right around 4 o'clock in the morning, followed suit like Bitcoin, and it is looking the same way right now. RSI has been going up, price has been going down. So short term bearish. We'll see if we can reverse that on both Ethereum and Bitcoin going forward. So let's take a look at the miners here really quick, and we'll take a look at the short interest as well. So Annie was down today 3.33% to 67 cents, up a little bit in the after hours, not much, to 68 cents. But we can see that the short interest has been decreasing on Annie here. It is now, I can't go all the way to here for some reason, but we did have about, what is that? Annie had 2.2 million shares short, looks like. This was on 513. This, I'm guessing, is going to be 531, and it's obviously lower than that as well. Argo, we don't have any short data on Argo, but Argo was down 1.09% to 45 cents. Bit Digital was down 4.85% to $1.57 today. And we can see also that the short interest was going down through 513 to 7.4 million, up a little bit now at the end of May to 7.7 million. And we can kind of see where that corresponded. So that was right around here, 531. We can see that price has gone up a little bit, and we got a little bit more short interest going into it. Bitfarms was down 4.85%. Oh, I didn't want that. Bitfarms was down 4.85% to $1.57 right now. It's down a little bit more in the after hours as well to $1.53. Short interest, same thing, has been going down here through the end of May. Picked up a little bit towards the very end. So middle was probably, well, it wasn't the lowest that we've been at, but it was definitely lower. And then we picked up a little bit towards the end of May. On Bitfarms, CleanSpark was down 8.11% to $4.53, up a little bit in the after hours to $4.63. And, excuse me, the short interest has been increasing throughout May, and it went down a little bit here towards the end of May. So we had about 8 million, so we're under that probably at the end of May. That's the latest data we have on them. Cores was down 12.92% to $1.82. It reached a new 52-week low today at $1.80. It's up a little bit in the after hours right now to $1.83. And we can see the same thing, that short interest went up a little bit towards the middle of May, and it's gone down here. But we've obviously seen a huge increase in the short interest on cores, which is possibly why the price has been going down so much. DigiHost was down 6.35 today to $1.18. And we can see that the short interest has been coming down. The latest data we have is on 531. It's at 581,000 shares roughly, but it has obviously dropped from its peak here in February of 1,193,000. DMG was down 2.2% today. No short interest on them. Hive blockchain was down 3.64% to $3.44, up a little bit in the after hours to $3.50. We had a huge drop here in the short interest from a high in the middle of May of 23 million shares to 6. I wonder if that was basically that could be coincided with the reverse split that they had, 5-4-1. So that may be the reason why it's dropped so much here. So we'll have to see obviously how it goes forward. Hut 8 was down 6.63% to $1.62, up a little bit in the after hours to $1.63. Short interest has been decreasing here. It's at 12 million right now at the end of May. Iris Energy was up today actually 12.13% to $3.42, and up a little bit more in the after hours right now to $3.59. We can see the same thing on the short interest has been coming down, 391,000 shares at the end of May. Luxfolio was up today just barely 0.85 to 9.5 cents roughly. No short interest on them. Data. Marathon was down 7.68% to $6.85, up a little bit in the after hours to $6.95, but we're seeing short interest increase on them, obviously, and that could be because they're having a hard time getting those miners plugged in. They do have a lot of miners plugged in, basically, but they're not powered or energized yet because they're trying to work through the tax, what's the word I'm looking for here? Not tax relief, but, gosh, I'm drawing a blank. It's basically we're going to have to pay taxes on the electricity or something like that. So that's possibly why. So people are obviously betting against them getting that done anytime soon. Mawson was down 4% today to $1.20, up a little bit in the after hours, about the same amount as it was down, so back up to $1.25. And it reached a new 52-week low today at $1.18. And we can see the short interest on them has also been decreasing here over time. At the end of May, they were at 401,000 shares. Riot blockchain was down 5.78% to $4.89, down a little bit more in the after hours to $4.84. And we're seeing short interest increase on them as well, which is surprising because they've been actually doing pretty well, getting miners installed and building out, actually. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. And finally, Stronghold. Stronghold is down 3.66% to $1.84, up 9.78% in the after hours, which is surprising, to $2.02. Haven't seen any news come out from them. We'll see how this plays out as well. But on the short interest, it has been going up and down a little bit. At the end of May, it's at 2 million roughly shares that are being shorted right now. And we'll see how this plays out going forward as well. See if that increases going forward or not. So that's it. So it was a mixed bag today on the miners. Obviously, majority of them were down. We only had 2 miners that were up on the day. So we'll see how this goes forward. And let's get into the main story here that we have on 3 Arrows Capital. So crypto hedge fund at center of crisis faces risk of default as deadline to repay 670 million nears. And I believe that I think they already have defaulted on it, if I'm not mistaken. So here's the gist of it. 3 Arrows Capital, a crypto-focused hedge fund, has to meet a deadline on Monday to repay more than 670 million in loans to Voyager Digital or face default. I think Voyager Digital already filed a default basically against them. Voyager said that it intends to pursue recovery from 3AC and is talking to its advisors regarding legal remedies available to them. 3 Arrows Capital, or 3AC, is facing a liquidity crisis after the collapse of Terra USD and Luna, margin calls on its loans, and a massive slump in the crypto market. All right, and here is some of the main juicy parts of it. So 3AC was known for its highly leveraged bets, which was obviously not good. While the market was doing great, they were doing obviously great, but you got to also be a little bit careful when the market turns on you like it did on us in November. and it's been falling down ever since. So the hedge fund is facing a potential liquidity and solvency issues. Voyager Digital, a digital asset brokerage, said last week that it had lent 3AC 15,250 bitcoins and 350 million of the stablecoin USDC. At Monday's prices, the total loan equates to more than 675 million. Voyager gave 3 Arrow Capital until June 24th to repay 25 million USDC and the entire outstanding loan by June 27th, which is today, Monday. Obviously, that's a lot. I'm sure it was a lot more when they actually loaned that out. I wouldn't be surprised if that was not 6.75 million, but probably closer to $2-3 billion or something like that, which is a huge chunk of change. So I'm hoping that these companies wake up a little bit and become a little bit less greedy, because it is obviously having an effect on the overall market. Continuing on here, neither of these amounts has been repaid, Voyager said last week, adding that it may issue a notice of default if 3AC does not pay the money back, right, which isn't good. Voyager said that it intends to pursue recovery from 3AC and is talking to advisors regarding legal remedies available, which we know. And obviously, Voyager Digital and 3 Arrows Capital were not immediately available for comment when contacted by CBC. How did 3AC get there? Obviously, over leveraged, looks like, and a little bit too bullish on the market. But there was something else here. Contagion risk. So 3AC, which is one of the biggest crypto-focused hedge funds, has borrowed large sums of money from various companies and invested across a number of different digital asset projects that has sparked fears of further contagion across the industry. The issue is that the value of their assets as well has declined massively with the market. So all in all, not good signs. I'm going to just abbreviate his name here, VA, Vice President of Corporate Development and International at crypto exchange Luno, told CNBC, what's to be seen is whether there are any large remaining players that had exposure to them, which could cause further contagion, right? So that's obviously the concern here. Obviously, we know we have Voyager Digital. We got other ones like Celsius. So this month, lending firm Celsius, which promised users super high yields for depositing their digital currency, paused withdrawals for customers, citing extreme market conditions. We still haven't heard anything from them as far as when they're gonna, if they're gonna even make their customers whole, or whether they're gonna allow withdrawals from them. And then we also have another crypto lender, Babel Finance, said this month that it is facing unusual liquidity pressure and halted withdrawals. So obviously there's a lot of concern, and I think that is what's bringing down the market. This was published, when was this published? This was published like 12 hours ago at 6 a.m. this morning. So I think this is obviously stoking a lot of the fears that we have right now in Bitcoin, what's been falling back down, because we just don't know where all this money that, or not only stable coins, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, other coins have been lent out, or how many times they've been lent out and to who they've been lent out. And it just might become a mess. Hopefully it doesn't go too bad, but it's going to be hard maintaining that 20,000 price target on Bitcoin. If, we have a collapse or something like that, we may be coming down to 13,000, unfortunately. We'll have to see where that goes. But right now it's not looking good. Plus, we also have the fears from the Fed's going to be raising more interest rates in June, possibly. So that, with the economy, everything else, it's rough right now. All right, so let's take a look at, I think this was all I want to talk to you guys about that. So let's take a look at small miners now and see how they're comparing to each other, and we'll call it a day. All right, so we got DigiHost, DMG, and Luxfolio in this group here. We can make this probably a little bit bigger. Let's go to 200%. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger for you guys. So DigiHost obviously has about 26 million shares, DMG 172 million shares, Luxfolio 80 million shares, and their market cap is 33 million for DigiHost, 34 for DMG, and 8 million for Luxfolio. As you guys are aware, I'm using the 20 PE ratio here with 75% net income from gross revenue. And obviously them being so small, I think the 20 PE is a little high. I think closer maybe to 10 to 12 PE would be fair on them based on where they are and where they're going as far as hash rate is concerned, future one. And we'll get into that here in a minute. But right now, DigiHost at $17.35, I would say maybe $10 or around $8, $9 would be a good price for them. DMG, $2.64, I would say obviously half that, so about $1.30. Luxfolio, $1.77, so half that would be about 80 cents or so from where they are right now. So that would be about a 600% increase for DMG and DigiHost, and about an 800% increase for Luxfolio if they got to where they're getting. And the reason for that is current hash rate is obviously pretty low. They're under 1 exahash. So DigiHost is at 597 petahash. DMG is at 613. Luxfolio is at 180. Future hash rate for DigiHost is about 1.1 exahash. DMG is about 1 exahash, and Luxfolio is at 363 petahash. So there are currently 52% operational from future hash rate. For DigiHost, DMG is at 58. Luxfolio is at 49%. So they're already halfway there, unless they start reporting that they're going to be adding more miners, growing their hash rate. They're pretty much capped out almost. They're halfway there. Average hash rate per miner right now is 90 terahash for DigiHost. DMG has the best miners right now, about 100 terahash, and Luxfolio is at 96 terahash. BTC hodl, they don't hodl a lot, so DigiHost has 637 BTC. Last reported, DMG has 372, Luxfolio has 52. So that's a value for DigiHost of 13.5 million, DMG is 7.9 million, and Luxfolio about 1,100,000. Hodl cap percentage-wise, so hodl cap to market cap, it's about 40% for DigiHost and 22% for DMG. Luxfolio is 13%, and about 52 cents is their hodl position in DigiHost, 5 cents in DMG, and 1 penny in Luxfolio. And I think that was it on them. Let me see, did I have it? I had it in here. So looking to see how efficient they are at mining. It looks like right now, Luxfolio being at, what are they at? 180 petahash right now. They're mining about 0.141 Bitcoins per petahash right now. DigiHost is about 1180 per petahash, and DMG is at 0.789. And I believe that is because they had some miners get shut down, if I'm not mistaken here. But that could be why. Either that or they had to shut down operations for a certain amount of time. That obviously hurt them with their BTC petahash rate. Looking at how much they mined, so obviously Luxfolio mined 25 Bitcoins last month. DigiHost 70 and DMG 48. Luxfolio was actually increased, while DigiHost and DMG both were down for their production for May. April looks like the latest one that I have for Luxfolio, which that probably should be updated. Let me see here while I look at it. Yep, that should be 25.22. So they're actually down here a little bit on it, and that was obviously from May numbers. So they're different from the month prior. Let's see here, what do we have here? 0.17, there we go. Got data all over the place, sorry guys. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense now. So they're actually down a little bit. DigiHost obviously down 38, and so is DMG, which isn't good, and hopefully they get that resolved going forward. And let me see if we can see a pattern here for Luxfolio. Lux has been increasing over the past 5 months here, it looks like. They started out 22, they went up to 25, so a slight increase there. DigiHost or DMG was at 64. They did increase to 88, then got cut in half, basically to 48. The DigiHost was at 62 in January, and they did increase to 109, which was really good, but then in May, they're down basically 30% on production, it looks like. 39%, 38% for that. So, but they are growing, so which is still good to see. And that's it. These guys are obviously the small miners. It won't take much for them to go up in price, based on if they just report that they're getting more miners installed, that they're buying miners, they're gonna, grow their hash rate, and it's going to be costly. But I think right now is a good time to do it because the miners are basically at a discount. ASIC miners, that is. We've seen Canon, we've seen Bitmain. All of those guys have provided that they're going to be basically lowering the prices. Canon has lowered prices on some of their miners 47%. I'm not sure exactly how much Bitmain has lowered it, but right now is actually a good time to buy if you have cash. So, and let's take a look at their cash right now that was last reported. So, total current assets for DigiHost is about 50 million. DMG has 30, almost 40 million, and Luxfolio has 5 million. Total liabilities. So they do have some cash here. At least DigiHost and DMG have some cash that they could possibly spend on growing. Luxfolio looks pretty tapped out right now, if based on the numbers that I'm seeing here at least. All right. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed a pretty quick one. Obviously, we'll see how Bitcoin does tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday. How the weekends, who knows? You know, right now it's not looking good. We'll see if we can get the reversal happening on a 1 hour chart, possibly on the 4 hour chart, where it's starting to get bullish a little bit. Maybe this is just a little lull that we're in right now. All right, so that's it. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. As always, the spreadsheet is available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there for their support. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a great night, have a great week.